I don't believe that we were made to hustle as hard as we're hustling. This is a whole separate video, and I have no idea why I'm talking about this, but I don't believe our bodies were created to work the way that we work, right? To put as much stress on it the way that we put stress on it. And so when we're talking about the value of this skill set and what it can do for you, could you imagine spending a weekend and just marking up charts, finding potential setups, and going on through your week and doing whatever you got to do that doesn't require you to have to go to a job? Hello, hello, hello. I hope you guys are doing well. I am coming to y'all live on a Saturday night. I am sitting here marking up charts, and I saw a potential good setup that I wanted to walk through with you to show you how I arrived at this potential opportunity. And so, for those of you guys who are new to the channel, my name is Kaci Jackson. I am a registered commodity trading advisor. And here in this little corner on YouTube, I complete multiple time frame analysis. I give you my take on different pairs throughout the week and different setups. I also give you some tips and tools of things you can learn. I also give you some tips and tools of how you can navigate the Forex space a little bit faster, a little bit easier than me and my 8-year-long journey. So, so I'm gonna take a look at GBP JPY today, and what I'm doing is I'm going through each time frame and I'm identifying the potential areas where price could reverse. And how we do that is by basically identifying the what we call swing high and swing lows. And so we have a swing high, which is a 5 candle formation. And you can get more detail by attending the no cost mini course, but it's a 5 candle formation where price has reversed in the past. And so I go through each time frame, I find them on each time frame, and then I take my fib retracement and fib extension tool in order to let me know the next step, right? So I'm on the monthly chart on GBP JPY, and what I'm gonna do is the platform that I'm using basically will allow me to double check the work that I've done. So I go through, I manually identify support and resistance. First, essentially, that's what your swing highs and swing lows are. And then I double check it. And so there's a couple areas I hadn't filled in. We got them filled in now. And so I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to turn this off. And then I'm going to go to smart resistance to double check what I've done. See, I'm running my mouth to y'all and not marking levels, but it's all good. Thank goodness for the system, right? So I'm done on the monthly time frame. I'm going to head down to the weekly, and I'm gonna find those levels there too. And it's the same process that I just used for the monthly. And so I'll go through, I'll find the highs. So we're gonna change this to our weekly color, which is blue. And then I believe I have a high here. We'll double check it with the system, right? Just to make sure that everything that we've chosen is in fact correct. I believe we have a level here. I also believe we have a level here. And I like to do them manually. Some people like to turn on the smart support right away. I like to do just a little bit, it exercises my muscle. So just in case, if ever there's a instance where I don't have access to a system like a smart trader or smart trader itself, I'll still be able to go in and do the work. So I'm just turning on the smart support. I guess I'm getting a little rusty at this, walking and talking and chewing gum at the same time. Missing levels talking to y'all. But it's all good. Let me pick the one that I missed, and I think that I'm good from here. So I'm gonna turn this off, and then we'll double check the smart resistance, and it looks like I did good on those, right? So I'm gonna go ahead, we'll go down to the daily chart, and then we will identify our next highs. So we got a high here. We'll turn this red, right? We'll save. We have another high right here underneath this weekly level. We're going to adjust this weekly just a little bit higher. And then I'm going to pick up my swing low. So I can count this one. I can also count this one. And then I am going to count this one. Did y'all notice? Your girl ain't coughing no more. So I have to tell y'all about that testimony soon. But I am just grateful because for a minute, every time I would make a video, like I'd be hacking in the screen, and I'm like, Lord have mercy, what is going on? But I am actively working on living a healthier life, making healthier decisions. And I gotta tell you, I feel good. All right. So that's the daily. Let's see. I think I'm good. I'm gonna go down to the 4 hour. So as a swing trader, this will be the lowest level that I'm gonna choose to go to. And so let me turn this to 4 hour color. That's gonna be gray. And then here we go right here. But yeah, y'all, I feel good. Not a cough, right? So I just want to continue learning, and continue executing, not just learning, right? Continue executing and feeling good, feeling great, eating a whole lot of fruits, eating a whole lot of vegetables. It is always easier for us to grab what's convenient, which may not always be healthy. But I honestly believe that a lot of the issues that we have as far as health today is due to the facts that we have catered our lifestyle towards or catered our care towards our lifestyle, if that makes sense. So eating what's convenient, not drinking water, not sleeping well because we got it, like I don't believe that we were made to hustle as hard as we're hustling. This is a whole separate video, and I have no idea why I'm talking about this, but I don't believe our bodies were created to work the way that we work, right? To put as much stress on it the way that we put stress on it. And so when we're talking about the value of this skill set and what it can do for you, could you imagine spending a weekend and just marking up charts, finding potential setups, and going on through your week and doing whatever you got to do that doesn't require you to have to go to a job, right? So it's a little bit of sacrifice right now to learn this skill set, to get it down pat, and then in the future, you can dictate what it is that you want to do. So I want to pause right here and I want to show you guys what I'm looking at. So what I did, I finished off finding all the support, resistance, whatever. I use multiple screens when I complete my analysis because I always want to look from the higher time frame to the mid time frame to the lower time frame. And so I want to be able to quickly pull up a chart, see what's going on, do what I got to do, right? So here, I'm not just looking at my active fib. My active fib has the color behind it, right? And because we're looking for bullish activity, it's going to show green and yellow. When a fib has no background, that means that the sequence is complete or it's no longer valid. So on this previous sequence, we have a low here, A low, we have a B high, we had a 23.6, but we hit the D extension, right? D extension has been hit. Now when I go down to the daily, the lower time frame, I want to start looking to the downside to see where we're going, all right? So I am going to leave this as is, and then I'm going to go to my daily time frame. Was that the weekly? Yes. That I'm going to go to my daily time frame, and I'm going to go to the highest point, click down my fib. Gives me no information, right? Because we had a new high that took out this old fib. So I'm going to click above the last high over here. Doesn't tell me anything. So I'm going to keep moving to my next high. Doesn't tell me anything that I can use right now, right? It tells me what happened in the past, but what happened now? So now my active fib is right here. So I have an A high, I have a B low, I have a 8.6 pullback, and then our D extension on the daily will sit at 19106 is what it looks like. And let me just hover over this to make sure I get it right. 19108. So I'm going to put it in the parameters 19108. And then we'll label this daily D extension. All right. So we'll keep that. That's daily. So now I want to just go over one more, right? I'm going to go over to my C. This is my C right now. So it is my retracement, my highest pullback, and I'm going to click above it. This is the current leg active fib. We have an A high, we have a B low, we have an 8-6 pullback here. So this just brings in our take profit just a little bit tighter, right? So I'm going to again see what this says, 192.09. So I'm gonna put daily current leg D extension. It will save it here. Oh, I didn't put it right. Let me put the actual number, 192.09. And we'll save it. So that's the daily current leg D extension. So now that I understand what direction we're going to, when I go down to the 4 hour, what I want to see is if we've hit a D extension to the upside yet, right? So I'm going to leave this here, and I may need to add another chart. This is my 4. And so if I go over here, right, and I click at my deepest retracement, if I let me see where I can do this at. If I start, let me just start from excuse me. Let me just start from the lowest point. This is cool, but it doesn't really tell me anything, right? Nothing that I can use right now other than we had an A low, a B high, a 38.2, and our D extension sits at 198.59. Okay, great. But what does that tell me about right here? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to delete this. I'm going to go to my deepest C, which was here. Invalid fib doesn't tell me much of anything because our low, our A, got taken out here. So I'm going to move my fib over. I'm going to click below the last low. Doesn't tell me anything because our A got taken out. So I am going to click below this low. And it looks like to the 4 hour, we've hit a D extension, right? So if you don't understand the fib and how it works, I strongly encourage you go to the no-cost mini course. It will break it down for you exactly what I'm talking about and what I mean. But let's take a look and let's verify. Our low is at 193.271. We were at 193.273 for a 786 pullback, which means that our D extension is right here. Already been hit, right? So at this point, once we get a retracement or once we hit a D extension, we anticipate a retracement. But remember, on the higher time frame, we've already identified price is heading to the downside, right? That's the overall direction where price is going. So we hit the D extension on the lower time frame. This signals to me, we're at the 786, this signals I need to start looking for sales. That's what it signals to me. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to set this up like I'm looking for a sale. Swing low to draw my trend lines. And I don't think I have enough information on the 4 to map this out. But what I want to do, I'm going to map out this zone. We'll call it here. I'm going to drill down to the lower time frame to make sure that we hit that D extension, right? Because we may push up just a little bit more. And let me get rid of the circle. All right. And I'm going to click below the last low. And so what I'm looking at is I'm trying to make sure we hit the D extension on all time frames, right? So this was the previous fib, A low, B high, 618 pullback, D extension hit in the zone. So either I can see one or two things happening. Either we start to break down from the current price that we're at, right? Or we get a potential push up. So we get our little swing low. We push up to this daily level. Might even test the weekly, right? And then start breaking down. Either or. So the way that I would set this up is I would go ahead. I'm going to draw an entry from where price currently sits right now. I'm going to place my stop loss just above the weekly level. And I want to measure, let me turn this to red because this would be our stop loss. So let's make this red. And then remember, we've already identified where our D extension is, and I don't think I carried it down. So let me go back to the other chart, and I want to carry my current leg D extension to all time frames. And so we're going to go back over here, and that's the daily. Where is my 4? Because we had, did I get a 4? I don't think I did, man. Okay, we'll look at it. Okay, so this is my stop loss. I will just move it just a little bit higher, just in case price decides to spike. I have to measure that out. That should only be like 60 or 70 pips, if that much. It is a little high. So I can bring it in just a smidget, because that weekly level, I would anticipate. But I'm interested in a sale, and I'm interested in the sale all the way down to this daily level. So I'm going to draw my take profit down here, right? So this is going to be green, and I just want to measure from, because we're done with this. It's told me what I need. I want to measure from my last high to the next high. That's on the 1, so it's not giving me anything. I'm gonna go to the 4, and I need to look at our high candle. So I'm also going to highlight the current leg. So this would be this pull back here. We're gonna call this 4-hour current leg D extension. All right, so let me tell you why I like this. I like this because it puts us above the daily support, right? So it puts us above daily support, and then that's really primarily why I like it, because price can get to this daily level and turn around and shoot up, right? And so if you have your stop loss at that daily current leg, there may be a possibility that price does not break that level and you miss out on your take profit. So I like this one for the sale. I like this setup right here. I don't believe I have enough information yet to draw an inner trend line. I can go down to the 15 to see if I can get one. Um, I'm going to put the smart trend line on. We'll click below the last low, and we do have one. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to grab my ray. I'm going to drop my trend line, and I believe that's where it was. Let's see. Nope, it was not. I'm way off. I'm too zoomed in. So let's adjust this, and let's go for here, right? And there we go. So either you can limit in to this, or you can wait till you get a stronger break in a backside retest. I like limits just because they're more convenient for my lifestyle. So this is what, let me adjust this. This is what I'm liking, right? So this setup, I'm trying to adjust this yellow line and it's just not cooperating. This setup, we're going to bring this up just a little. This setup, just looking at the risk versus the reward. I haven't measured the reward out yet, but this makes sense to me all day. So you have, let's call it 300 pips. It says 303, but let's call it 300 with a 68 pip stop loss. So even at 68 pips, 4 or 5, that's almost just under a 5-to-1 setup. This makes sense all day, right? So I like this setup. Like I said, I'll be looking to limit in. I might do a manual execution after the market has settled just a bit, or limit in at that daily level. I'm not sure yet. I'll have to see what's going on. But I like this sell setup, this opportunity. Let me know what you guys are thinking in the comments below. If you're going to be looking at GBPJPY, do you share a similar perspective, or is yours different? I'd be curious. So anyway, if this video was helpful to you, please consider giving it a thumbs up, and I encourage you to stop back by the channel. I try to put out videos on a pretty consistent basis, and it'll be a mix of technical, it'll be a mix of advice, it'll be all things. So yeah, and then I also encourage you, go to the no cost mini course, take a look at what is there, and then come back to the channel, rewatch the information, and I promise you'll understand it just a little bit better. All right. I appreciate you for watching this video. I'll see you very soon, and I hope you guys have a fantastic rest of the weekend. Bye.